Sunday's slate had a runaway train in Kansas City where the Padres piled up 19 runs in a blowout, while Boston kept its incredible run alive with a 12-game winning streak. Here's every game from July 19th. The Chicago White Sox shut out the Toronto Blue Jays 3-0 on the road, riding a strong start from Sean Burke, who picked up the win by firing 6.2 scoreless innings and striking out 5. Colson Montgomery provided the only home run of the afternoon, going deep for Chicago and adding a hit in his other at-bat. Randall Grichuk, Braden Montgomery, and Andrew Benintendi also collected hits to back up the offense, and closer Grant Taylor slammed the door with a perfect inning for the save. Toronto's lone bright spot came from starter Trey Yesavage, who struck out 9 over 6 innings in a losing effort, and Ernie Clement, Dalton Varsho, and Nathan Lukes each managed a hit, but the Blue Jays' offense never found a rhythm against Chicago's pitching staff. The shutout snapped any momentum Toronto might have carried into the series, while the White Sox picked up a much-needed road win behind a complete team effort on both sides of the ball. Final score: White Sox 3, Blue Jays 0. The Los Angeles Dodgers rolled to an 8-2 win over the New York Yankees in the opener of a Bronx doubleheader, powered by a dominant complete game performance from Yoshinobu Yamamoto, who went the full 9 innings, allowed just 2 earned runs, and struck out 7 to pick up the win. The Dodgers spread the damage around, with Kyle Tucker, Max Muncy, Freddie Freeman, Shohei Ohtani, Teoscar Hernandez, and Andy Pages all collecting hits. Tommy Edman also had a hit in the win, keeping his streak alive. He's now reached base with a hit in 7 straight games. New York's offense was limited to a Trent Grisham home run and singles from Ben Rice, Anthony Volpe, and Jazz Kisham Jr., while starter Cam Schlittler struck out 8 but was pulled after just 4.1 innings as the Dodgers' bats broke the game open. With the win, Los Angeles took control of Game 1 and set the tone for a long day at Yankee Stadium. New York flipped the script in the nightcap, beating the Dodgers 2-1 behind a strong bullpen effort from David Bednar, who earned the win with 1.2 scoreless innings and 2 strikeouts. Jazz Kisham Jr. delivered the decisive blow with a solo home run, while Jose Caballero added a stolen base to spark the Yankees' offense. Ryan McMahon, Paul Goldschmidt, Jason Dominguez, Ben Rice, and Cody Bellinger all chipped in with hits as New York bounced back after dropping the opener. The only other Dodgers with hits. The split kept both clubs even on the day, with New York salvaging the nightcap in a tightly contested finish at Yankee Stadium. The Boston Red Sox continued their incredible run, beating the Tampa Bay Rays 6-1 to push their winning streak to a franchise-defining 12 games in a row. Wilson Contreras led the way with a home run, and Jahmai Jones, Andrew Monasterio, Caleb Durbin, and Seth and Rafaela all added hits to the Boston attack. Durbin also swiped a bag during the win. Sonny Gray was outstanding on the mound, going 6 innings, allowing just 1 earned run and striking out 5 to pick up the victory. Tampa Bay's only offense came via a Victor Mesa Jr. home run, with Taylor Walls, Richie Palacios, Chandler Simpson, Hunter Fiducia, Jonathan Aranda, and Junior Caminero adding hits that couldn't overcome Boston's advantage. Palacios also stole a base for the Rays. Boston has now won a dozen straight games, the longest active streak in the sport, and shows no signs of slowing down as they roll into the next series with total momentum on their side. Francisco Lindor was the story in New York's 6-1 win over Philadelphia, going 3 for 3 with 3 RBI and a home run to power the Mets' offense. Nolan McLean was even better on the mound, striking out 10 over 6 shutout innings to pick up the win. Luis Torrens, Bo Bichette, Tyrone Taylor, Brett Beatty, Carson Bench, Juan Soto, and A.J. Ewing all contributed hits as the Mets lineup clicked on all cylinders. Philadelphia's only run came on an Alec Bohm home run, and J.T. Realmuto kept his own streak going with a hit in the loss. He's now hit safely in 7 consecutive games. Brandon Marsh, Bryson Stott, and Trea Turner also managed hits for the Phillies, but they couldn't string together enough offense against McLean's dominant outing. The Mets' complete performance, from Lindor's big day at the plate to McLean's shutout ball, gave New York a statement win on the road. Atlanta outslugged Texas 8-5 in a wild offensive affair, with Drake Baldwin and Austin Riley both going deep twice to power the Braves. Baldwin was nearly perfect at the plate, going 5 for 5 with 2 RBI and a stolen base, while Wiley added a 3 for 4 day with 4 RBI. That's a huge fantasy line from both Atlanta sluggers, each notching multi-homer games in the same afternoon. Grant Holmes battled through 5 innings, allowing 3 earned runs to pick up the win despite the back-and-forth scoring. Michael Harris, Roman 2, and Matt Olson also had hits for Atlanta. Texas countered with a Wyatt Langford home run as part of a 3 for 5, 2 RBI day, and Nicky Lopez chipped in a 3 for 4 effort, but the Rangers' bullpen couldn't contain Atlanta's power surge. Jake Berger, Jock Pederson, and Kyle Higashioka also collected hits for Texas in the loss. In the end, Baldwin and Riley's combined 4 home runs and 7 RBI were simply too much for the Rangers to overcome in this back-and-forth slugfest at Truist Park. Paul Skeens was dominant again, striking out 8 over 7 innings to lead the Pittsburgh Pirates to a 7-1 win over the Cleveland Guardians. Billy Cook backed him up with a 3 for 4, 2 RBI day and a stolen base, while Esrelin Valdez went deep for Pittsburgh and kept his hit streak alive. He's now reached base safely in 7 straight games. Jacob Gonzalez, Jared Triolo, Jake Mangum, and Nick Gonzalez also had hits as the Pirates' offense backed up their ace. Cleveland's lone run wasn't enough to keep pace, though Kyle Watson, Chase DeLauder, Brian Rocchio, Petey Halpin, Gabriel Arias, and Stephen Kwan all managed hits in the losing effort. Skeens' combination of power and command overwhelmed the Guardians' lineup for most of the afternoon, and with Cook and Valdez providing timely run support, Pittsburgh cruised to a comfortable road win. Baltimore topped Houston 5-2 behind a strong outing from Brandon Young, who worked 7 innings, allowed just 1 earned run, and struck out 7 to earn the win. The Orioles ran wild on the bases, with Gunnar Henderson, Dylan Beavers, Pete Alonso, and Colton Cowser each swiping a bag. Kobe Mayo added a home run, and Leody Taveras also chipped in with a hit. Grant Wolfram closed things out with a scoreless inning for the save. Houston got a home run from Jose Altuve, and Isaac Paredes, Reynel Delgado, Yainer Diaz, and Jordan Alvarez all had hits, but the Astros couldn't overcome Baltimore's balanced attack on the bases and at the plate. The 4 stolen bases were a difference maker for the Orioles, who turned a close game into a comfortable win by putting constant pressure on Houston's pitching staff and defense throughout the afternoon. San Diego absolutely demolished Kansas City 19-2 in one of the most lopsided results of the season, and the Padres did it with a barrage of home runs. Jackson Merrill and Ty France each went deep twice, with Merrill turning in a monstrous 4 for 6, 4 RBI day, while Fernando Tatis Jr. added a home run and a stolen base of his own. Luis Rengifo went 3 for 5, Sung Mun Song chipped in a 3 for 3, 2 RBI performance, and Luis Campuzano, Gavin Sheets, Xander Bogaerts, and Jace Bowen all found their way onto the base bats with hits. Yuki Matsui picked up the win in relief, striking out 3 over 2 scoreless innings. Kansas City's only response came from a Jack Caglianon home run, and Carter Jensen, Josh Rojas, Isaac Collins, Salvador Perez, and Luke Maile all had hits, but nothing could slow down San Diego's onslaught. Lane Thomas stole a base for the Royals in the loss, one of the few bright spots on an otherwise miserable afternoon. With 2 multi-homer games from Merrill and France, the Padres turned this one into a laugher early and never let up, piling on 19 runs in a statement road win that was the most dominant performance anywhere in baseball. On July 19, the Milwaukee Brewers edged the Miami Marlins 3-1, getting a home run from William Contreras and a stolen base from Christian Yelich to fuel the offense. Jackson Chourio, Andrew Vaughn, and Gary Sanchez also collected hits for Milwaukee, while Grant Anderson picked up the win in relief with a scoreless inning. Miami got a strong start from Yuri Perez, who struck out 9 over 6 innings, but the offense couldn't back him up beyond an Esteury Ruiz home run. Griffin Canine, Heriberto Hernandez, Jacob Marcy, and Xavier Edwards also had hits for the Marlins, but Milwaukee's bullpen held the line late to secure the narrow win. It was a tightly played game decided by just a couple of runs, with Milwaukee's timely hitting proving the difference against a Miami pitching staff that otherwise kept the game close throughout. The Chicago Cubs blew out the Minnesota Twins 10-1, getting a home run from Alex Bregman and a 3 for 5, 1 RBI day from Michael Busch. Shota Imanaga was excellent on the mound, tossing 7 scoreless innings and striking out 4 to earn the win. Pedro Ramires, Carson Kelly, Pete Crow Armstrong, Seiya Suzuki, and Nico Horner also had hits as the Cubs' offense clicked from top to bottom. Minnesota managed hits from Victor Caratini, Brooks Lee, Austin Martin, Josh Bell, Ryan Cradler, Royce Lewis, Alex Jackson, and Luke Kershaw, but none of it translated into runs against Imanaga's dominant outing. With Bregman going deep and Bush driving in a run while collecting 3 hits, Chicago's offense did plenty of damage, and Imanaga's shutout innings made sure Minnesota never had a chance to climb back into the game. Cincinnati outlasted Colorado 9-6 in a home run derby at Coors Field, with Hunter Goodman putting on a show for the losing side, blasting 3 home runs and driving in 5 runs on a 3-for-4 day. It wasn't enough, though, as Tyler Stephenson matched him with 2 home runs of his own and a 3-for-4 3 RBI performance for the Reds. Willie Castro also went deep for Colorado, while Saul Stewart and Nathaniel Lowe added solo shots for Cincinnati. Hunter Green worked 6 innings, allowing 3 earned runs while striking out 7 to pick up the win, and J.J. Bleday stole a base to round out Cincinnati's contributions. Mickey Moniak, Jake McCarthy, Troy Johnston, and Kyle Carros all had hits for the Rockies, but they couldn't keep pace with Cincinnati's power. Goodman's 3-homer game was one of the most impressive individual performances of the day anywhere in baseball, even in a losing cause, while Stephenson's 2-homer response proved to be the difference as the Reds outslugged the Rockies in a back-and-forth affair that saw 8 total home runs between the two teams. Washington beat the Athletics 5-2 behind a strong start from Foster Griffin, who worked 7 innings, allowed just 1 earned run, and struck out 2 for the win. C.J. Abrams and Dylan Cruz both went deep for the Nationals, and the team ran wild on the bases with Nasim Nunez and Jacob Young each swiping 2 bags, while Curtis Mead and Harry Ford added 1 steal apiece. Clayton Beeter closed it out with a save. Athletics hitters Jonah Heim, Joshua Kuroda-Grauer, Alika Williams, Tyler Soderstrom, Henry Bolt, Colby Thomas, Shea Langeliers, and Jacob Wilson all had hits, but the offense stalled against Washington's pitching. With 6 total stolen bases and a pair of home runs, the Nationals controlled the game from start to finish, using their speed and power combination to pull away for a comfortable road win. The Los Angeles Angels held off the Detroit Tigers 3-2 behind a strong bullpen effort, with Ryan Johnson picking up the win after 5 innings of 1-run ball and 5 strikeouts, and Ryan Zephyr-John locking down the save. Nolan Schanuel led the offense with a 3-for-5 day, and Oswald Peraza, Zach Neto, Mike Trout, and Tyler Heineman each stole a base as the Angels applied pressure on the bases all afternoon. Vaughn Grissom also had a hit in the win. Detroit got home runs from both Riley Green and Kevin McGonigal, and Hao-Yu Lee and James Outman added hits, but the Tigers couldn't quite complete the comeback against the Angels' bullpen. With 4 stolen bases and timely hitting from Schanuel, Los Angeles found just enough offense to hang on for a 1-run win in a tightly contested game. Logan Gilbert was dominant for Seattle, striking out 10 over 6 innings to lead the Mariners to a 6-3 win over San Francisco. Cole Young and Luke Raley both homered for Seattle, and Josh Naylor added a stolen base as part of a balanced attack that saw Weston Wilson, J.P. Crawford, Randy Arozarena, Colt Emerson, Mitch Garver, and Julio Rodriguez all collect hits. Andres Munoz closed the door with a save. San Francisco got a home run from Bryce Eldridge, who also stole a base, and Casey Schmidt, Helia Ramos, Young-Hoo Lee, and Luis Ariz added hits, but the Giants couldn't overcome Gilbert's 10-strikeout performance and Seattle's power at the plate. With 2 home runs and a dominant start from their ace, the Mariners controlled this one from the middle innings on and cruised to a comfortable home win. Arizona held off a late St. Louis Charge to win 8-7, getting home runs from Nolan Arenado and Geraldo Perdomo to fuel the offense. Adrian Del Castillo, Tyler Locklear, Kettle Marte, Corbin Carroll, and Max Kepler all had hits for the Diamondbacks, and Juan Murillo picked up the win after 1.1 scoreless innings out of the bullpen. Louis put up a fight behind Blaze Jordan's 3-for-5, 3 RBI day and a 3-for-5, 2 RBI effort from Alec Burleson, while Ivan Herrera went 3-for-6. Jordan Walker, Jose Furman, and J.J. Weatherholt also had hits for the Cardinals, but it wasn't enough to complete the comeback. One notable absence from the Bucs score, Gabriel Moreno was held hitless for Arizona, snapping his 8-game hit streak in the process. Despite that, the Diamondbacks' power and a shutdown bullpen outing from Murillo were enough to survive a back-and-forth slugfest and escape with a one-run win at Chase Field. Boston's win streak has reached a scorching 12 games after another dominant performance over Tampa Bay, the longest active run in the majors. Meanwhile, 3 players are riding 7-game hit streaks. Tommy Edman kept his going with a homer in New York. JT Realmuto extended his despite Philadelphia's loss to the Mets, and Esmeralda Valdez matched the mark with a home run in Pittsburgh's win over Cleveland. All 3 will look to push toward double digits soon. Fantasy managers had a field day watching the power surge across baseball. Atlanta's Drake Baldwin and Austin Riley both went deep twice in the same game, with Riley driving in 4 runs. In Colorado, Hunter Goodman put together a monster 3-homer 5 RBI afternoon, while Cincinnati's Tyler Stephenson matched him blow for blow with 2 home runs and 3 RBI in the same game. Out west, Jackson Merrill added another multi-homer game with 2 long balls and 4 RBI in San Diego's blowout win, making him a streaming option worth watching. That's a wrap on July 19th action across the majors. Hit subscribe so you never miss a recap, and we'll see you back here tomorrow for more highlights.